Hi, Todd. This is Lupe Haas with CineMovie. Of course, you want a franchise. So I think I read there's like 97 characters in the game. So how do you pick? Obviously, you're going to pick the most popular to come start in the first one, but how do you hold back so that there's that intrigue to keep it going?
I'll give you a perfect example. The reason we held back Johnny Cage is he is a very egotistical guy. He's a scoundrel. He's funny. He's bigger than life. He's, running around. He's got the glasses. And so is Kano, right? And so you go, all right, are we just going to have two guys competing to be who can out funny each other and ego each other in this movie? Or do you hold Johnny Cage back because God willing, we're able to do another one? Everybody is waiting for that. And so I'm a dad, and sometimes I have kids and I go, if you do this, we get to go to Disneyland, right? So it's like, I'm praying just for so many reasons, because Warner Brothers will be like, I got Johnny Cage, guys, we can make this. So for a lot of reasons, we held him back. The other, Rain and the reptilian character, they both cloak. So, okay, so you don't want two cloaking guys. First of all, it's expensive, and second of all, they do the same thing. So you just start to then unwind it that way of like, well, there are people we can see later. There's also characters that have such complicated backstories with other characters, you want to give them more service. Like I keep saying, I want to do 9 hours of WandaVision in this thing, whatever our version of that. Maybe it's just the monks, just Liu Kang and Kung Lao, 9 hours of them. I'm in. So there's like so much to draw from. So we were trying to be as intelligent as we possibly could to tell a story that you could just come in and sit down, not know what Mortal Kombat is, and enjoy it. And by the end, be as big a fan as the guy who's played the game for 30 years and knows everything about everything, who's screaming at me at Twitter on all day. And so I understand that there's those fans. I get it. There's certain things I would love to have had in the movie and I couldn't. Cost and practicality and things like that. Just going off on a weird tangent for 20 minutes, for something that's not to the core story. So our goal and our prayer is that this movie does well enough and we've set it up enough and is satisfying enough for both the fans and people who don't know anything about Mortal Kombat that they're going to allow us at some point to sit with Ed and John and all the Warner Brothers execs and put a big whiteboard up like Kevin Feige did and map out the universe and map out, years and years of this. That's my prayer.
So I wanted to ask you, not only do you have to worry about the choreography with the martial arts sequences, but on top of that, you're going to add special effects. So how complicated was that? I don't think it's ever been achieved on film before.
Well, it was quite complicated, actually. It was, how do I give you a really good answer to that question? Yeah, it was incredibly complex. I had a great team of people around me. So Kyle Gardner, Chan Griffin, Kyle being the stunt coordinator, Chan being the fight choreographer, and then Chris Godfrey, who is the visual effects supervisor. We spent a lot of time, and Naaman Marshall, production designer, and Cappy, who's the costume designer, had a really good crew, and we all got on extremely well. And my job as a director is to sort of get everyone communicating really effortlessly, right? I believe there's great value in the film gets better, the final product gets better when we can communicate well. And I think, excuse me, that specific thing you asked is a really good question because it's something that we knew we were going into to have to deal with and have to manage. So it was a matter of making sure that we all chatted and collaborated together all the time on a daily basis. So that when it turned out that there was a heavy visual effects component within this particular martial arts moment, let's say, and some of them you've seen, let's use the blood blade as an example, which is a pretty good example. So that was the idea came from Kyle and Chan and their guys for that, the stunt guys. But because they knew that they were talking to Chris Godfrey and myself and everyone all the time, ideas like that could come about because there was this kind of constant flow of communication. And so everyone felt emboldened to go, all right, let's come up with lots of ideas that we can apply to this stuff. So not only were they really concentrating on the purity of the physical fighting, but they were also adding these great ideas. Chris would come up with ideas once he saw the fight viz. We'd all watch it together and Chris would say, hey, what if we did that? Or what if we did that? Or someone. So ideas would come from everywhere. And it was just a matter of making sure everyone knew exactly what was happening at each step. So I guess it was sort of just making sure everyone knew and knew that the ideas can come from anywhere. They certainly don't come from me. I just employ very clever people to make me look smart. So,
thank you.
But yeah, it's a good fun part of the movie actually to sort of be able to layer those things up.